entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now, COD fans, or should I say haters, based on how a large population of you shat all over Infinite Warfare's reveal trailer. Either way, it's Matt Heywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com, and we are going to review COD Infinite Warfare, the game that everyone hates for no reason. First and foremost, Infinite Warfare may just feature the best COD campaign to date, which is set in the future at an unknown time, but humanity has started to populate the solar system, so it's definitely a far future setting. You play as Commander Reyes, who is backed up by his trusty bot soldier Ethan, as well as his wingwoman Salter. As with any COD, the main gist of the narrative is that some crazy-ass leader wants to take down the good guys, but instead of it being the typical US and UK versus Russia, the Middle East, or China, it's now a unified Earth versus the Front, which are a collection of settlers on Mars who have seceded from the galactic UN. The main bad is Admiral Koch, who is played by Jon Snow. Unfortunately, you don't get to see him much outside the beginning and ending segments and a few video transmissions in between. But he does do a great job during his parts at pulling off a strong-willed military nutjob. At the onset of the game, Koch and his forces make it clear that they want nothing but war with Earth, so after taking out a small force on Europa, they launch a surprise attack on Earth's naval forces during Fleet Week to cause the most damage and confusion. This is where the narrative kicks into high gear and takes you all across the solar system to provide one of the most diverse-looking COD games to date. Speaking of visuals, I have to say that Infinite Warfare is a thing of beauty thanks to its smooth 60 FPS frame rate and HD visuals. It popped like no other on the Xbox One S and easily rivals HDR-supported releases like Gears 4 and Forza Horizon 3. It's damn near close to looking lifelike, which is crystal clear when you watch its cutscenes. The campaign plays out a bit differently than other COD games thanks to the fact that it offers almost no load times, which creates a seamless gameplay experience. You also aren't forced into a linear mission structure because you can now take on side missions using a galactic map similar to the one in Mass Effect to warp off to these smaller affairs. The two side mission types feature ship-to-ship battles as well as boarding missions to screw with the Front's fleet. Outside of nabbing a bunch of achievements for playing them, they also yield new weapon unlocks for the ground missions, as well as the flying missions. The latter, in fact, are pretty damn great and offer solid flying controls and intriguing dogfight action. I especially enjoyed flying missions that require large front ships to be taken down, as they evoked a feeling of Star Wars' space battles each and every time. It made you feel like an ace. I definitely enjoyed the mix of flying missions and those that took place on the ground, as well as a few that mixed both types of gameplay together. It really helped to create a seamless experience and allow yourself to become a part of the game world. The story isn't that long, but depending on difficulty, you're looking at about a 6 to 8 hour affair, and it's worth experiencing because it does feature a pretty entertaining narrative that also reminds us about the costs of war and the sacrifices of the men and women who serve in them. I honestly enjoyed the campaign enough that I would have been somewhat satisfied if it were the only thing on the disc, but we're talking COD, so of course it has multiplayer in the franchise's zombie mode. I'll be the first one to admit that I didn't spend too much time in multiplayer, mostly because the older I get, the suckier I get at FPSs. But for the most part, it's similar to its predecessors. This time around, though, you have combat rigs to tune to your playstyle, and of course a bit more freedom with your moves thanks to the rigs and their Titanfall pilot-like abilities. The zombie mode is my favorite multiplayer option in Infinite Warfare because I know I at least have a chance against the AI. I also love its 80s theme and setting, so it's a nice way to blast some undead with friends. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare definitely got an unfair shake from gamers that it seemingly hasn't been able to escape. I for one found it to be a gorgeous looking game with a fantastic campaign and enough gameplay changes to make it interesting. The whole future setting space environments don't make it feel like Halo, but they definitely don't make it feel like any other COD title to date. If you only play COD for multiplayer, then this may be an entry to skip. But if you look forward to plowing through a COD campaign each fall, I can assure you that you'll dig Infinite Warfare's single-player mode. The experience alone earns the game a solid 85 out of 100 review score, but a final buying decision will be up to you. I would buy for the campaign alone, but it's hard to justify telling someone else to do that for $60 because of the length, so you have to decide on that conundrum yourself. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned to EntertainmentBoo.com on a daily basis because we will make you a better geek, one post at a time.
EntertainmentBuddha.com